I'm Chasten Whitfield, and this is my bold story. In our family, the girls teach the guys how to fish. And my grandma actually taught my mom how to fish, and my mom taught my dad how to fish. So my dad didn't even eat fish until he married my mom. So I grew up on the water, and my mom's like, hey, why don't you do a fishing tournament? Just see how it goes, see what happens. I fished the fishing tournament in a 16-foot boat with a 5-gallon gas can with two other of my girlfriends, and we got first. And they had a giant check, and we were holding it, and I remember everybody was staring and their jaws were just dropping. Like, we were technically the first all-girls team to fish it, and I remember leaning over to the announcer who had the microphone. I said, hey, we're gonna donate the money back to the charity. And he hid the microphone behind him and leaned in and said, what? Why? I'm like, because these kids need it more than we do. We already have an allowance, we don't need it. And he started crying, and then he announced it, and everybody started crying. That's when I was like, yep, this is what I wanna do for the rest of my life. I love helping people. After I won that tournament and got my first sponsor, I then really realized I can actually do something with fishing. So I won that tournament, and I was on top of the world. I walk into school and I thought I was all that in a bag of chips, and then that's when the bullying started happening. It was mostly guys that were picking on me. I actually got kind of like shoulder checked, but more so pushed into a wall. And he told me, what he told me was the best thing that has ever happened to me. He told me that a girl will never make it in the fishing industry, or the fishing world, was his words. And usually when someone cuts you down and says, hey, your idea is stupid, you're not gonna do it, it's not gonna work, you're not gonna make it makes you sad. But I took that and it turned into fire. So after class, I was walking out, and he kind of pushed me in the wall and was like, good luck. And I exploded after that. I started teaching kids how to fish. I did little fishing expos, going through life lessons. And then I was doing a fishing camp on the pier, and this little boy rolled up in a little wheelchair. He's about 4 years old. His name was Easton. And he was the only one on the pier catching fish. And he would catch a fish and do a donut on his wheelchair, start doing donuts in it. And I went up to him and was like, hey, have you ever fished in a boat? And he said, no, I haven't. My wheelchair won't fit. I can't find a boat that fits my wheelchair. So I went up to his mom at the end of the day, and I was like, hey, can I take your son fishing? And she goes, yeah, if you find a boat that fits it. And I took him fishing on July 4th, 2016. And that is when my life changed forever. These kids are absolutely mind-blowing. The life lessons that these kids show me, I catch myself doing this a lot. I'll have a bad day and I'll be like, dang, I was late to my hair appointment. It's gonna throw my whole day off. And then I sit there and I'm like, wait, no, it could be a whole lot worse. And these kids are going through worse, and they are the most positive people I have ever met in my entire life. I always have these sayings with me. Like, I have them memorized, or sometimes I wear them, and I happen to have one of them on. It's a little bracelet that says, prove them wrong. And I look at this bracelet and I'm like, okay, prove them wrong. It's kind of like that fuel that I have, like when someone tells you, no, you can't do this, don't get sad, turn it into fire and say, watch me, and then just do it. My grandma, other than being diagnosed with breast cancer, she also had a stroke. And the doctor said that she would never be able to walk, cook, drive, nothing. She's 84 years old, and she still goes fishing with me to this day. Same with my mom. When she was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, she had an infection after surgery and 9 extra surgeries, and they said, we don't know what's gonna happen. She probably won't make it. She proved them wrong as well. So now, here I am, proving people wrong with them.